bit more of an indoor activity, and it is seed paper making. So I'm the paper conservator at Manx National Heritage, so I love paper, and that's my
It's such a fascinating title, that. That's such a great title, paper conservator.
Yes, I normally have to explain it a bit further, but I'll just put it out there. And so part of my job, I need to know how to make paper, and I've done a lot of that in the past. And it's a really lovely therapeutic process. So the workshop I'm holding is, so we make paper and then we'll put seeds in it. So then we're connecting to nature. So you can plant it, you can keep it for as long as you want, and then you can plant it out, and then you'll get some lovely wildflower plants sprouting, hopefully.
Yeah. And you were sort of giving us suggestions because we had to trial it out before we rolled it out to the public, and you had some really good suggestions about making them into birthday cards or making them into a greetings card or a thank you note or something like that, and then saying, oh, and you can plant this out later. So and I think I did actually, but so I helped Emma choose the seeds to put into the paper. So and I did make sure to try and source things that are like found locally and that are native and not just sort of random. You're not going to start getting
so we have made sure they're all native to the Isle of Man.
You're not going to get triffids growing in the middle of your garden or anything.
That's good to know. So can you do this though with pretty much any seed?
Not coconut.
If they're small enough to fit in the paper, size matters.
Yeah.
So they have to be small enough to be held in the sheet. So, but it depends on how thick you make your paper. So you can make quite a lot during the workshop because once you get going, it's quite a quick process. But I also go through a bit of the history of paper making because that's my thing.
Yeah.
So you get a bit of education out of it as well. So it's very hands-on then, and you can make quite a lot, and then you can take it away and do whatever you want with it.
And this sounds like a lovely thing that might be a little bit of a sort of family affair. This that you could
it's kind of pretty much suitable for all ages, and it's a really nice process, and it's it's quite meditative, I think, as well. It's just nice to do something with your hands. And I did it last year and the year before, and people love it. Everyone's really happy when they leave just because they've had such a lovely time, and I really enjoy doing it as well.
And it's a very different way of connecting with nature, isn't it?
Well, I think a lot of people sometimes don't realise that virtually everything in their lives, from the food that they eat to the clothes that they wear to, just the things that they enjoy or maybe take for granted, like the sounds of the seaside and things like that, they're all intrinsic, lovely things that we enjoy or connect to. And yet, actually, if we didn't protect our environment, they could all disappear very easily. And we kind of assume so much, like everything's, we just carry on as we always have. And actually, it's like, you do realise that all of this is at risk. And if you don't look after it, it could very well. I mean, we always talk about, that creep when you speak to people who have been around the sun a few more times. They'll say, oh yeah, when I was a kid we would hear so many more birds singing, we would see so many more insects, we would see so many more wildflowers in fields, we would see all of these beautiful things which we don't really notice. And yet they'll say that even in my lifetime it has got, even from when I was a kid, I mean, I'm like in my mid-40s, I've noticed there are less birds singing, there are less insects. Like when you were a kid and you do a big road trip with the family and your dad would have to pull over and scrape the windshield to get
that.
Doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you
true.
go on a big road trip in the UK or something and you don't have to stop to scrape the windshield or your headlights. That's just not a thing that happens. And that's within, from my living memory of, say like 30, 35 years. So that's terrifying to me, being involved in this kind of thing as I am every day, to think, you blink and all of a sudden it's gone. So, and some things can't come back. So we have to be very careful with what we're doing. And I hope that by people immersing themselves in something enjoyable, they start to love it and then want to save it.
Well, that's the thing. And I suppose Manx Wildlife Week is a perfect example of getting that message out there. It's education, it's awareness, and it's appreciation as well, though, isn't it? Because what we do have here is beautiful and is quite unique as well.
Yeah. I mean, I realise that we don't have any endemic species yet. It would be great if we find some soon, but we don't have any endemic species that are only found in the Isle of Man. But we are a unique mix of the species that are found in the region, and we need to start, giving more appreciation and protection to what we have. And I think what I've tried to do with this week is to try and big up either smaller organisations or people that maybe just don't normally have the time to showcase the wonderful work that they do, for me to say, hey, if you can give us an hour of your time to do a wonderful event or a talk or something, I can show people the great things that you're doing, and also that maybe you can either get help or at least people will be more kind in supporting what you do. So
it's a lovely thing. We'll just let everyone know then how they can get involved in Manx Wildlife Week.
So if they go on to Manx National Heritage's What's On page, there's details there on how to book. So sometimes you might email the organiser, sometimes they've got a web page link, and you can click on the booking details and it'll tell you exactly how to contact each event organiser and how to get involved. And so, yeah.
Fabulous. And there'll be a longer podcast as well. Howard has had a lovely chat as well with Laura and Rachel, I think it was, which will be available at manxradio.com soon. So look for the Wild Thing podcast as well. Thank you so much, Laura and Emma, and all the very best with Manx Wildlife Week.
Thank you.